we really can't function as educated citizens and participate in our democracy if we don't know how our government works and how it got to where it is. And as John Adams and Thomas Jefferson and George Washington all agreed, our citizenry and our nation doesn't work if we are not educated citizens, because civic participation is essential in order for there to be accountability for leaders, for elections to work, for expectations to be upheld. And that requires a certain level of knowledge. It requires a level of knowledge about both like how the institutions function and how they're supposed to function, so you know when things aren't going well, but also how they worked before, how we got to where we were, what were the decision-making processes behind the formation of the Constitution. And partly that's so that you can make good choices, but it's also so that you can understand when people are talking to you, are they right? Or are they kind of trying to pull a fast one on you? And if you don't know your history, you're much more susceptible to, frankly, nefarious forces who are trying to pit you against each other or make you think ill of a certain group of people. And so sharing that complex history, the messiness of it, is so essential to participating as a citizen. So I think that for a long time, there was this narrative about the founding of the nation. And I think a lot of citizens understand at this point that that narrative is not necessarily accurate, but they're not always sure where to go for the accurate information. And they're trying to find a balance between recognizing that they don't want to just worship these very real, complex figures. They understand that they were flawed. They understand that they were imperfect and made bad choices. And some owned people. Like, this is not a great thing that we want to celebrate. But also, they did create really extraordinary things. They created the longest surviving national written constitution. And that national story is really important to our identity. And so how are we supposed to balance both of those thoughts in our head at the same time? And so oftentimes people are looking for someone to say, it's okay to have both of those thoughts. It's okay to say they did some crap things and we can hold them accountable for those things. And also, it's okay to respect their creation and what they did. And it doesn't mean we need to cancel them. And we can tell the story of slavery and the story of the Constitution. We can tell the story of Black women and George Washington, and we don't have to pick between the two. And I think sometimes audiences are looking for permission to continue to do both. And I want them to continue to do both, because that is the American story.